Hey, coming at you with a quick guide from Benno on how to build a team from scratch to beat the Zodiac Masters cheaply and effectively. This guide is geared towards newer players who don't have a gym rerun team. I haven't personally done the tablets yet, so this guide is entirely thanks to Benno. So everyone say thank you to Benno in the comments, and also special thanks to ThirstyMichael for recording the team in action. It's not a perfect strategy 100% of the time, but it can get a win against every Zodiac Master, and you only need to win once. Let's look at the team. We utilize a screen setter, in this case, Prankster Sableye being the most expensive portion of the team. To set screens, use a Kingdra to set Rain Dance for Swift Swim to increase the rest of the Kingdra's speed. And then we're just going to either spam Surf or Dragon Pulse, depending on the Zodiac Master that you're encountering. More on that in the written guide in the description. And then you just spam Surf or Dragon Pulse for the entire fight. Depending on the leads for the Pokemon, there may be some complications where you have to do some creative swapping, but all in all, this team works very effectively. Kingdra has a 4x weakness to water, so the added surf damage from hitting your ally is negligible, and Swift Swim will allow the Kingdras to outspeed almost everything and do a ton of damage with a stab surf in rain. IVs and EVs do matter somewhat in this fight, not for the screen setter in this case, but for the Kingdras. You'll want to get a nature that is special attack boosting. In this case, you'll probably want to go with mild and rash for cheap, but if you can afford modest, that's even better. You want an absolute bare minimum of 20 special attack in each. We tried to do 20 plus special attack in some cases and even less for others. It definitely makes it a little bit less reliable. It can be done, but I recommend going 20 plus attack with a special attacking boosting nature, and try to put your bulkiest Kingdra as the Rain Dance lead, as it will take some hits, and you do want that Rain Dance to get off. For EV training, you'll just go special attack and speed. I didn't take the time to potentially do some calculations to see if you could get away with investing in some bulk, so I just recommend going EV and speed, as this will work. For items, you'll want light clay on the screen setter to make the screen last longer. You want damp rock on the rain setting Kingdra to make rain last longer, and then the rest you'll just want the corresponding damaging item that you'll use for each particular Zodiac Master. Mystic Water for Surf, or Dragon Fang for Dragon Pulse. If those are getting expensive on the GTL, you can also look at the plates for each. I believe one is the Splash Plate and the other is the Draco Plate. And I do want to include this option for the screen setter. If you don't have a Prankster Sableye and they are getting particularly expensive, some, I think it's pushing over 100k, you can go with an Electrode. Electrode is a very speedy Pokemon. Unfortunately, it's not fast enough to outspeed a few leads, I believe. Off the top of my head, I know the Dragon one is the tough one in particular, as it automatically sets Tailwind. So you'll need a Choice Scarf for the Electrode. So if you don't have a Sableye, and let's say you do already have a Choice Scarf, Electrode could be a good option. In this case, I got something with 27 speed IV, plus speed nature in Naive, and EV trained it in speed. We were able to get a win against every Zodiac Master with the Electrode, but overall, I would say the Sableye is better, just due to the Prankster ability, making it outspeed through priority rather than relying on the speed stat. So if you already have the Prankster Sableye, let's say you were doing raids with it, definitely just go with that over the Electrode. But in a pinch, if you already have the Choice Scarf, and Electrode is much cheaper. But otherwise, I would say if you need to spend 100k on a Choice Scarf or 100k on Sableye, just go with Sableye. It's a better option. It's important to keep in mind that the Zodiac Masters scale to the level of the highest level Pokemon in your party at a minimum of 50. So all you need to do is level these Kingdras up to 50, or if you already have like a level 60 something Sableye, getting them up close to the level of the highest level Pokemon in your party is the only thing that you need to do. So you do not need to level 6 Pokemon to 100. It speeds things up greatly. In building the team, you can look at buying Horsies with Swift Swim. The way to do that is you go into the GTL here, go down to Has Ability, and look at Swift Swim. And then you can start sorting by nature and IVs. So we will do 25 in special attack. We'll leave that other random one alone. And let's take a look at mild first and see what we've got. There are none available. That's not good. Let's just look at 20 plus. And there's a few on the GTL. So 20, 24, 23, not that bad. Then you can also look at Seadras. And instead of Swift Swim, look at Poison Point. That's what the ability changes into for Seadra. None available for mild. We can take a look at Rash. There is one available, so you might have to fish around a little bit. You can also breed these yourself. Just get a Ditto with the nature and a matching special attack IV for cheap. That's one way to go. Or see if other people are using the strategy, and you can look for Kingdras with Swift Swim and see if any are on the GTL. That's another option. Don't see any right now. That's unfortunate, but there are quite a few. You can get creative with how you get the team. You can also just go catch them yourself. If this strategy for some reason takes off and Kingdras are impossible to get, you can go catch them at a reasonably high level in Sinnoh as a lure on Route 2226. So if you do have the regions done, you can just go do that. For the first example fight, we have the Rat Master. It's an important one to note because the Exadrill can crit your Rain Dance Kingdra, ending that fight basically on the spot. You'll just have to go next if you get that unlucky crit. We have the Electrode setting up Reflect instead of Sableye. This is what we were testing in the recordings. Special thank you to ThirstyMichael for providing me with these recordings. Super, super thankful for that. So we get Reflect off for this fight in this case, and then we are just going to spam Surf. Our Kingdras have Mystic Waters attached to boost that damage, and Kingdra's 4 times weakness to water coming in handy when the right Kingdra actually surfs the left Kingdra. I think that animation is really funny when it happens. Just does not get old to me, but you'll see it's an easy sweep, takes out the entire team of 6 in short work. Very, very straightforward. Most of the fights will go just like this. Spam Surf, and you'll get down to probably not even your last 2 Kingdras, though some will get a little bit closer. Next up, we have the Dragon Master. It's a great example of how the strategy may change depending on the different master. This one's interesting in particular because we get a Tailwind set up at the start, and they automatically set Rain. So you do not need to set Rain yourself. We'll set Reflect with Voltorb. This is a choice Scarf master for Voltorb to outspeed that Tailwind. That's one of the gotchas for Electrode, so I really would recommend the Prankster Sableye. We'll also be using Dragon Pulse with Kingdra here rather than the Surf, just because of that Dragon 1.5 times, or rather 1.5 resistance to water. So it's Dragon Pulse and Dragon Fangs or Draco Plates equipped to the Kingdras. You'll just want to spam Dragon Pulse all the way out to take out the rest of the Pokemon. It's a little bit slower because you're not doing that AoE damage as you would with a Surf. And you'll see this fight does get much closer than a typical Surf spam one, but it is interesting that Kingdra is able to still, with just the Stab Dragon Pulse, a little bit boost from the damage there, the damage item there, take care of everything in the fight. You can also mix in the Surfs as needed because they're going to do so much damage, especially against the Garchomp. So just kind of, you'll have to play around a little bit. I'll try to keep as best notes as I can, but the team should be able to take on every master. Have had a few people test the team so far and take care of it all. So spam Surf, spam Dragon Pulse. If you've got choice specs, I would just stick with the Dragon Pulses probably, but easy fight for the team here. And that's going to do it for the video. Please check out the written guide in the comments. That's going to have much more detailed notes on each individual master, depending on what lead you're using. And please let me know if you have any problems, come up with any other tricks or tips to help beat the Dragon Master with this particular team, so we can pass those tips along to other people that need to use it. I wanted to get this guide out as quickly as possible because there's only so many days left in the event, and it's especially difficult for new players to try and balance potentially building a team to get that new vanity versus doing other things in the event. So hopefully this helps. Really want this to get out there and help as many people as possible, because I think it's a super cheap and effective way to just get these Zodiac tablets handed in and those Zodiac masters beaten quickly. So thanks again for watching, and have a fun rest of your event.